Hey traders, thanks for tuning in to beaconequity.com. Hey, as you know, we talk about video charting, we break down charts, we try to find the hot stocks at the best time, and we think we've got a hot one here in RNWK. Real Networks Incorporated traded up over 15% today on monstrous volume. It had over 4 million shares traded, which pretty much blew out of the water at least 4 or 5 times the daily average. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened with RNWK. As you can see here, toward the end of September, the equity was trading right around $3.25. We had a very nice, strong upward channel where the equity made higher highs and higher lows. We were in a very nice channel here. And then what happened is the channel started to break down. We started to make lower lows for the first time here at the end of October, and then confirmed in November in the very beginning, with the stock just plunging all the way down from $4.30 down to $3.52. It tried to rally but did not make a higher high on the chart. It did not break over $4, which it did here on this little move, and we went to $3.98, and then we pulled back, and we pulled back even farther below $3.52 all the way down to $3.26. Had a little rally, not nearly as high as the previous high, had another new low, $3.21, and then we had a small period of consolidation where the stock traded sideways for about a week or two, from a $3.21 to about $3.45. It was a nice swing trade for those of you that played it for 15 to 20 cents. And then we had a monster volume day today. 4 million shares traded. The equity gapped all the way up from a $3.45 close to over a $4 open here. We hit a high of $4.16 before closing at $3.99. So we think there's several ways that you could play RNWK moving forward. We think there's a possibility of a quick long play and then a possible short sell opportunity to the downside. Because what happens with these stocks is most of the time these prices will eventually come back down to fill the gap that was caused from today's gap up. The gap on the downside is all the way here at $3.45. So there is a potential, if you're someone that shorts stocks, to watch this real close on Thursday, December 10, 2009. If the equity gaps up, because it did have such a monstrous volume day, we did close up almost 16%. If we have a bit of a gap up, especially on a green market tomorrow morning, we may see a retest of $4.15 to maybe even $4.30, which is the area that was created over here in mid-October, where the stock had a plateau for a while or a consolidation phase before going downward. So we may see a gap up anywhere from $4.15 to maybe $4.30. There may be a nice trade in there early on in the day as the equity has some upward momentum. If the stock market goes green, again, there may be that short, quick in and out trade for maybe 10 to 15 cents on RNWK. If the market starts turning red or the equity starts to lose steam, which it may, because as you can imagine, a lot of people that were in here at the $3 range, $3.20 range, are looking to take profit on tomorrow's gap up or tomorrow's strong open. If that starts to happen, and if you start to see lower highs and lower lows, there's a possibility of a short sell on RNWK. If that happens, here are the levels of support that I would watch. $3.80, which is the 50 moving average line, $3.56, which is the 20 moving average line, and $3.45, which is the area where the gap started at today, Wednesday, December 9th. I don't know if we go all the way down here in one day. It's very uncommon to do it all in one day. But it is possible for us to test maybe the 50 moving average line, or maybe somewhere between the 50 and 20, somewhere around $3.70, which at that point may give you anywhere from a 30 or 40 or maybe even a 50-cent short sell on RNWK. So let's go ahead here and erase these trend lines, and let's go ahead and take a look at the indicators to see what RNWK is showing after today's move. And as you can guess, I'm sure we can see clearly that they are all pointed upwards. The RSI, the MACD have huge upward slopes based off today's action. The RSI 10 is going up near 70. The MACD line has really strong separation. The histogram bar in the back is really strong today, and we are very much over the zero line, which is a positive signal for those of you that went long on today's play. So we're going to watch these close now because there is such a big discrepancy in the gap that was caused today. These can reverse quickly. So we're going to see if the RSI goes over 70 early on and then maybe comes back down and tests 50 over the course of the next day or two as the equity possibly comes down to close that gap. Same thing on the MACD line. It may start to tilt downward and maybe even break below the zero line over the next couple days. So to wrap up how we would play the trade on RNWK, What we see moving forward one more time, the possibility of an early upward move on Thursday, December 10th, 2009. If the market goes green early in the morning, we could possibly test $4.15 to maybe even 4.30 cents. If we start to lose steam and the buying volume starts to get slower and slower and the equity starts to get lower lows and lower highs, look for a possible short sell setup for us to come down and test the 50 moving average line at 380, the 20 moving average line at 356, and maybe at some point over the course of the next couple days or even several weeks, an all the way downward priced $3.45 to close that gap. Again, I don't think it happens in one day. It typically does not, but it usually does at some point, especially if the stock does not have continued strong news or if the market loses some steam. They do pull back some, so look for a possible short sell off of tomorrow's early morning rally. If you have any questions or if you're looking for any other hot stock alerts, make sure you come check us out at beaconequity.com. And as always, good luck and happy trading.